Hi, I'm Levi Richards with Formula Champion Show Feeds. We're here today with Andrew Sloan, one of our teammates and kind of our go-to, show lamb expert. And just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about, some feeding strategies on your show wethers and different things like that. I know the Formula Champions line probably had the best year yet this past year and fed a lot more champions at an even higher level. We're just really excited and wanted to get more information out to you guys. So, Andrew, thanks for jumping in here with us. So let's just start right off the bat. Let's say, it's springtime. I've got a 75, 80-pound lamb that I just bought at a sale. I bring it home. How do I want to get it started?
Yeah, most of the time when we bring sheep home from a sale or, you buy from a breeder coming out of the farm, we'll bring these sheep home. We'll put them right on Power Takeoff. Mm-hmm. Power Takeoffs are 18% textured, kind of creep/grower. It's got detox in it. It's got a roasted soybean in there for added just bloom to these lambs. And obviously, when you're buying your sheep in March or sometimes even into April, them first jackpot shows hit pretty quick, and so we need to get some quick bloom and some quick gain on them, and that's why we put them on Power Takeoff. And then obviously it's got the Afterburner XL in it, which is for gut health and transition from farm to farm or feed to feed. Works really good too.
Yeah, actually Power Takeoff's become our number one selling sheep feed, I love it.
Yeah, most people that try it, whether it's creep or that first step when you get them home, we've had great success, and like Levi said, that's our number one seller. That's by far my favorite product of what we got.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, when the next step obviously is going to be going to X Factor, the barley-based lamb feed. Well, first, before we talk about when to go to it, what benefits do you see from X Factor being a barley-based lamb feed? What does it do differently to the sheep rather than Power Takeoff?
Yeah, so X Factor compared to Power Takeoff won't have as much energy in it. So once you get them kind of up to that 100-pound mark, roughly, we want to start working these sheep, and we don't want them to gain maybe as fast, and just kind of coast them from that time on to state fair or county fair, wherever it may be. And so that's why we would switch to the X Factor, just lower the energy a little bit, and with the barley, make some nice harder fat, harder touching sheep, and obviously when you start showing, that's what the judges are looking for. So
yeah, absolutely. How do you know when a lamb's ready to switch from Power Takeoff to X Factor? I mean, you said 100 pounds, but it's not every lamb is going to get to 100 at the same condition and level. So how do we know when to make that switch?
Yeah, that's every sheep's different, and you can't just feed the same feed and the same style to every sheep. Even in the same breed, every sheep's different depending on genetics or frame score or whatever it may be. So every sheep's different. Those smaller framed ones, we probably want to get them on X Factor sooner. Some of those big taller ones that just need to get a little bit more moderate and fill out, we'll feed those Power Takeoff a little longer than maybe what we would like a Southdown that's a little shorter.
Yeah, perfect.
One that puts on cover quicker. So a lot of it, you just got to be the judge on body condition of your sheep and frame score and what your end goal is. If you got an early county fair and you're behind, maybe we'll feed Power Takeoff a little longer.
Yep.
Or if you're big and those first couple jackpots or whatever, and you got a late county fair, maybe we'll switch the X Factor a little sooner.
Yeah. What if you got one you need to just really push? I mean, once in a while, I talk to a customer or get to a farm and they're just not as heavy as they thought they were or they'd like to be, and they really need to push one hard. You throw in a couple supplements at that point, or what's kind of your go-to when you need to really put the pounds to one?
Okay. Yeah. When we're really trying to push one, we'll go to that Power Takeoff feed. Even if you switch the X Factor, you can always come back to it. And most of the time, we'll mix those half and half. They have the same medication in them, so you can do that. That Power Takeoff's got a lot of ammonium chloride in it for the prevention of kidney stones. And so when those sheep get so big, roughly around that 100-pound mark, we probably need to start switching and adding some X Factor into them. And I know a lot lot of people mix the two.
Yeah.
And then, supplements, if you're really trying to get one to grow, in terms of weight, you can add a little hard drive to get a little bit more protein into the ration. You can add a little Moonshine to get a little bit more energy into the ration too. So you can kind of play with those, and it goes back to when you switch from Power Takeoff to X Factor, every sheep's different.
Sure, yeah. Now, to go back to the supplements a little bit, you mentioned hard drive, which hard drive is my absolute favorite. We rarely feed a sheep without hard drive, but when do you think is the right time to start on a supplement like that? And what do you think hard drive does for us? What's the benefit of using it?
Yeah, so hard drive is our 34% top dress pellet. It won't necessarily burn fat. It kind of just shapes them up, creases them up high. So when we start going to these jackpot shows, right there at the end of May or beginning of May there, we'll add some hard drive in. That just helps crease them up a little bit. And then obviously if you get one that's getting a little chubby on you a little too quick, like I said, it won't necessarily burn fat. But it'll help crease them up high and give them a shot more muscle expression. So roughly around that, first jackpot or right before is when we'll really start feeding hard drive. And every sheep's different depending on poundage. We fed up to half a pound to a sheep before, maybe even a little bit more than that, like some of those big yearling ewes. But and we feed all the way down to maybe even an eighth of a pound. So just in terms of shape, that's our go-to product. Yeah.
And then what about, you also mentioned the Moonshine, our liquid fat top dress, which is also, it's available with caramel or cherry flavored. So you have some options there. But, when do you go to start using that? Does every sheep go on it? How do you use it here?
Yeah, Moonshine is probably our touchiest product. Obviously, being an oil-based product, you got to be more careful than just regular old throwing some top dress pellets to them. And not every sheep will get Moonshine. Those ones that you're trying to push and you want to get a little bit more energy in them or a little bit more bloom or fat cover, that's what the Moonshine's intended for. Being extremely high fat, those frame sheep or some of those Dorsets that get a little taller and framier on you. That's where we get the Moonshine, and even sale prepping some. Just in terms of getting them bloomy and shapely. Add a little hard drive, a little Moonshine for that extra calorie source will definitely help you.
Yeah, and you're right. Being an oil-based fat, we want to start that really slow. Look at your feeding recommendations. Make sure you're starting at the absolute lowest and very gradually work your way up to where you feel like it's working right.
Yeah, when we start, we'll normally start them on 5 to 8 cc's, whether it's on the feed. We'll just add it on the feed, and then we'll just continue to bump that up. We don't normally get over that 20 to 25 cc a day mark. Obviously, it's an oil, so you gotta watch oil in the gut and rumen. Sometimes doesn't sit well, so they may get a little loose on you or whatnot. So that's when you're feeding too much. It's time to back down.
Well, we sometimes we get to that point. We get them too chubby. We've got a really good product called Afterburner. Have you used much of that, or how do you use it? How do you like it?
Yeah, so we feed a lot of the Afterburner. We tend to drag a lot of yearling ewes around Ohio and into sales to sell. So we'll use that Afterburner just to burn a little fat. And a combination of hard drive and Afterburner on those bigger Wethers, or as we're getting closer to state fair, or those yearling ewes, just to trim them up a little bit. We try to keep them a little heavier in terms of condition all summer so we can work them and exercise them. But sometimes we need a little bit of assistance, and that's where the Afterburner comes in to just help burn one down and get them right for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. One more thing we'll talk about, I guess. We talked about Power Takeoff, we talked about X Factor, but one more complete feed that we have in the Formula Champions brand is called Showstar. This is one we've had for quite a long time. In fact, our VP of sales, our boss, his daughter had won state fair and it did well, kind of all over the Midwest using the Showstar feed. And we've just kind of kept it up to date, as times pass, but just a really highly fortified feed, a little bit less of one that you wouldn't use so much with top dresses.
But it's a higher fiber feed. So like if you get one, it's getting a little big on your or yearling ewes or whatever. it may be those more mature sheep. That's where the show star would come into play. Feed them a little bit more fiber. You won't have the barley, to help trim them or to give them a harder touch, but just to kind of slow them down in terms of weight gain and just overall body condition.
Yep.
That's where the show star would come into play. I know a lot of guys on the breeding sheep side are using a lot of it.
Yep.
On those yearling rams and yearling ewes, and it works extremely great for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So not so much Formula Champions related, but I'll ask you since I've got you here. I get the question quite often: how much hay do we need to be giving these market lambs, and what kind of hay do you like to give them?
Yeah, so I'm a big believer in hay. Some people will feed like an alfalfa pellet or something. I don't believe in that. We're here in Central Ohio. We have a really good hay source, so we're feeding them a good sized handful twice a day, morning and night, and sometimes even more. If you got those wethers that are putting a little bit more condition on, you can feed a little bit more hay. And when I say hay, I'm talking about good soft, orchard grass with a little alfalfa in it.
Sure.
You don't want to feed a bunch of old clover or just pure alfalfa that's real stemmy. Your sheep won't get much out of that. So.
Yep. All right, so now you've got a little bit more information on using the Formula Champions products. If you would like more information yet, feel free to reach out to us via Facebook. You can find a live chat option on our website, formulaofchampions.com. There's also just a lot more information in general on the website, so feel free to check it out or reach out to us if there's anything in specific we can help you with. I don't think we have anything else, so thanks for joining us today.